Hello and welcome to today's Dwelling in the Word. I invite you to join me this week as I again dwell in the book of Colossians, the letter that the Apostle Paul wrote to the church long ago. I am convinced as we go through these really hard things right now in our lives and in this world that we need to hear, that we need to remind one another of these important ideas about who our God is, but also about who we are and who God has called us to be, even as we go through really difficult times. No doubt the year 2020 will be a year that we remember for how difficult, hard, and at times heartbreaking it has been. And my hope and my prayer for you is that God is revealing to you his goodness and his faithfulness, even in the midst of everything that is going on. And as we think about the storms of life, as we think about everything that is broken and wrong with our world, as we think about how Satan is in control, undoubtedly deceiving and misleading so many of us in this world, we need to remind ourselves as we go through the storms who it is that came to live in the darkness with us, to share in our struggles and in our pain. His name is Jesus. He left the throne of glory to save us, to rescue us from the dominion of darkness, and to bring us into the kingdom of light where there's hope, joy, peace, and righteousness. So let's hear together the word of God, Colossians chapter 1, verses 15 through 20. Speaking of Jesus, the word of God says, he is the image of the invisible God, the firstborn over all creation. For in him all things were created, things in heaven and on earth, visible and invisible. Whether thrones or powers or rulers or authorities, all things have been created through him and for him. He is before all things, and in him all things hold together. And he is the head of the body, the church. He is the beginning and the firstborn from among the dead, so that in everything he might have the supremacy. For God was pleased to have all his fullness dwell in him, and through him to reconcile to himself all things, whether things on earth or things in heaven, by making peace through his blood shed on the cross. And just like the disciples of long ago, whenever we are in the storms of life, the one who created the universe, everything visible and invisible, who holds all things together, this individual is right there in the boat with us. He spoke to the wind and the waves and said, "Peace, be still." And then he turned to his disciples and questioned them, saying, "Where is your faith?" As we go through the challenges of life together and this really hard year that we're going through together, on top of whatever challenges and struggles and individual storms that you may be going through, I urge you to hold on to your faith. Hold on to Jesus. He will never leave you nor forsake you. He will never abandon you. He knows you by name and he loves you with all that he is. And he knows exactly what you are going through today. And he knows what everyone all around the world is going through. Trust him to help you. Trust him to protect you and guide you. Trust him to be your God who is faithful.